For the last 2 weeks, I've really wanted to try this game because it looks sort of interesting, but I kind of wanted to do a series on it. I've been having some technical problems, and I just got them fixed, so I'm like, yes, I can finally do it. And basically, this is Cluckles Adventure. Michael, you're going to check it out, and basically, it's supposed to be a game where you play as a chicken, and you have a sword, and you can get armor and stuff like that. I've only watched one video. I don't know if it's actually a good game or not, and so the reason why I wanted to kind of do it in the series is because I want you guys to share my either pure excitement or my pure disappointment. Let's go ahead and begin. So we're going to the valley, which is the first level. I did try and start playing, but the sound was super screwed up, and so I basically fixed that and then started recording again, so I apologize for that. But anyways, flap your wings to reach high places, press the jump button twice to flap. My disappointment right off the bat is that the animation is a little bit lacking. Like if you double jump, it doesn't actually flap his wings. I was hoping you would get like a little flap animation, but apparently not. Hold left or right to cling to walls. We can wall jump. I remember seeing that in the video. And press attack to kill enemies. Attack is B button, I believe. So dash, yeah. So we don't actually have like a swing. We have a dash. Also, that was very gory. That was a lot more blood than I thought we would have saw from that snail. Do snails even bleed? I don't think so. Find the chicks hiding in each level and rescue them all. Okay, well, so our goal is to save the chickies. There we go. We got one, and they turn into stars. Oh, I was hoping they'd follow you or something like that. I thought that would have been cool, like a Flecky's Adventure sort of thing. Ooh, that looks dangerous. Yes, so we can jump and we can dash. So basically, this is going to be a platformer, sort of an action platformer. I assume there's going to be chickies up here, or at least a secret of some kind. There's a chickie. Yay. I don't think we actually have to find all the chickies to actually finish the level, and so we could just end up skipping it. And so basically that's a thing that we could do, but I got a perfect because I am a skillful gamer. That is what I do with my life, probably. I don't know. I'm gonna go this way. The arrow said that way, but screw them. I found a chickie. That was important. So far, we're not finding anything complex. Can I go up here? Nah, there's just an invisible wall at the top of the screen. That's unfortunate. Not really. I kind of expected that to happen. I really wasn't expecting them to be like, here's a secret level and everything like that. I figured that the game is going to be fairly basic. I don't remember how much it is. I forgot to look at it. Ooh, he's actually wearing like a helmet and everything too. I kind of like the enemy designs, at least so far. We've only seen a snail, but I like the way that it's kind of creative and stuff like that. As an arrow, I don't want to go towards the arrow because secrets are when you don't follow the path. Yes, a chickie. That one was white like the mother. Can chickens have like any colored? I guess they can, can't they? I don't know much about chickens. I think they're cute and kind of hilarious, and they get hit by cars. So basically, yeah, that's all I know about chickens. They also lay eggs. Ah, that's a thing. Also, I'm kind of disappointed. I looked in the settings option. I didn't actually see anything to say I want to be a rooster instead of a chicken, and so you can't be daddy rescue. You have to be lady. Oh God, we died. There's a pea shooter thing. I guess is what I call that. And there's rats. So apparently we have plants that are trying to kill us as well. Is there a story to this game? No. Just thought I should throw that out there. I didn't see any story. Maybe there is story. Maybe we're going to see like some great plot. Maybe there's going to be some voice acting. Maybe that's some movie stars to come in here and voice the chickie. It'd be like, I was going to say like a popular celebrity, but I literally don't know anything about celebrities. So basically that would have been empty. Oh God, that's the finish line or exit door. I don't want to go to the exit door. So yeah, so far so basic. I don't know. It's enjoyable though. So I guess that's the thing. It's not really like grabbing me. I missed a chickie there. It's not really grabbing me, and the art style is, okay, that is annoying. I don't like that I can go from off screen onto, ooh, secrets? Oh, okay. So we found a secret chickie. There's secret chickies. Okay, that's good. That adds a little bit more replayability, but it was not a smooth transition. But I don't like so far how we've kind of died. The only times we've died is when we actually go off the screen. And so basically we get attacked by something we can't actually see. So that's a little bit disappointing. I would rather it be something like maybe a look up and down button. Or do we have one of those? I'm pushing everything on the controller and I don't see one. Keyboard anywhere? No. Apparently, oh, so it uses the arrow keys to move. That's a little bit annoying on the keyboard. WASD and movement would be nice. I didn't see a rebind option, but I could have just missed it. So I'm not going to trigger them for that. Not 100% sure. Can I kill this guy? If I touch him, will I die? I will just die instantly. I want to murder it because I am murderous chicken. I am dragon chicken. Meow. I don't know where that was going. Can I get up there? I probably have to go around or something like that. It seems like there's a snail up there, so we probably go that way. But I'm going to go this way and dodge that. Yeah, it seems like super basic so far, so I'm not necessarily digging it, I guess. I like complex platformers and stuff like that. I'm currently playing another platformer as well for review purposes, and that one, like, while it has some really complex ideas, it also runs into a situation to where it doesn't really do anything super interesting so far. I'm like halfway through the game, and I'm just kind of like, eh. It's a good game, though. It's just not really grabbing me, because I really like original platformers. And I like the idea of this one. You're a chicken, so I guess that's kind of original. But so far, the gameplay is not really grabbing me. I do like the idea of going around and finding chickies, but I don't like the fact that they're just kind of collectibles. It would be cool if they, like, followed you. Like, there's this really, really cool platformer game. I always forget the name of it, but I absolutely love it. It's fantastic. But you're, like, trying to save your little tiny kid things. Sorry, I'm just failing at platforming. We're trying to think of this name. But yeah, you save these little guys. I'll try and remember it. I don't know. I can't remember it. I'll do a video on it eventually, because it's a great game. And it's just fantastic. So I'd love to show it off. I probably won't do a full review of it, because it's been so long since I've actually, like, played it. Maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see. I kind of changed the way I'm doing reviews anyways, because basically I'm just like, I can't do one every week, because sometimes I want to do really complex games. Like right now I'm working on 2 different reviews. One's like really complex. The other one I just can't really finish the game, because I'm like, I'm not 100% having fun. And so basically I just stop playing every once in a while, because, you know, that is one of the things. I don't make a living off of this type of stuff. So basically I just kind of do it whenever it's having fun. But yeah, so far this is super basic, which is a little bit disappointing, but I didn't really expect more than that. So I guess it's okay. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's kind of promising a lot. You're promising to be just like a chicken and run around. Can we push blocks or anything like that? See, that's my main complaint so far, is it... Well, I didn't even see that guy from off screen, but that's probably my biggest complaint. But my second biggest complaint is that it doesn't really seem like there's much more than the basics that are running around, which is... I guess that's okay. Also, I'm just failing terribly now. I want to get the chickie, though. I want to save the chickies. I like the idea of that. But yeah, it doesn't really seem like there's a lot of gameplay depth, which I don't, like I said, there probably wasn't looking to be. But I don't know, maybe it'll get better as we go along. I don't actually know how long the game is. I know that it showed that one section, and I assume since it was named, there's... Dang it, I did the same exact thing again. You know what? Screw that chickie. It can stay there. It could just be like another foreign chickie. Orphan chickie? Yeah, orphan chickie. Orphan chick. Don't eat KFC. Kill the other pea shooters. What was that game called? Plants vs. Zombies. So there we go. Yep, we lost 2 chickies. Oh well, I'm sure we can come back and get them. It seemed like it was a whole level select screen and everything like that. Can we break these blocks? They look a little cracked, but nope, apparently not. Oh, you know what? We could probably do some mad Oh, I found a secret. I was expecting to grab onto the wall, so that was not exactly what I was looking for, but that's okay, because we found a chickie, and they were secret. So I kind of like the idea that you could... Oops. Wow, that was just a super fail on my part. Whoop. And then we go in here and grab that chickie. I would like it if we kept the chickies kind of cleared, but it did have, I noticed in the options, basically there's a difficulty option. There is the default kind of beginner stage, which is basically just go through, you don't have to collect all the chickies. And then there's a speed run mode, which basically has like a timer, and you're supposed to collect all the chickies and stuff like that. So I guess that could end up playing into kind of a lot of the fun that you could have with this game. Dang it. I did not do that well. But that could end up kind of playing into the fun that you have in the game, is basically making a sort of time trial out of it and speed run kind of tactic. But I guess that's kind of it. I don't know. It's like, once again, it doesn't really seem all that complex, which is, once again, not necessarily something I was expecting. I wasn't expecting it to be like super complex or anything, but I'm really running out of things to say. Aesthetically, it's all right. I mean, it's nothing advanced. I would like more animation on like the chicken and things like that. But yeah, it's enjoyable so far. So if you like little tiny platformers, I guess it's not that bad of a deal. And end up finding other ones. Whoops. Although the sort of trial and error of running off screen, maybe actually having it zoomed out would actually help a lot. Or maybe that was just me being dumb. But you know, having it like zoomed out or something like that, being able to see more of the screen would probably end up making it so that I can make a lot less mistakes, because then I can premeditate exactly what I'm doing. Also, the hitboxes seem a little bit strange. Apparently, if it touches your sword, you die. I know somebody could end up freeze framing that and being like, no, your head was clearly on his way, but yeah. Also, I found a shield. All right, we're getting more mechanics. Can I throw my shield? I want to throw my shield. Nothing on the controller does it. Oh god, no. What did I do? All right, well, hold on. I got pushed up a few hundred times. I was pushing all the buttons and I accidentally pushed start and B, which actually brings you back to the main menu. There we go. So I assume the shield is just going to be a free hit. Boom. Go up this way. Oops. Yep, so the shield is just a free hit. So basically we want to keep that as long as we possibly can, seeing how we could just end up running off screen and then finding something else that can end up killing us. Should I try and get all the chickies? I guess I should, because that's kind of like part of the point of the game. I don't know. I'm kind of bored already, just because it's like, it's a basic platformer, and I play a lot of platformers, especially if you look at my channel, you'll notice that I've played a lot of them. And so I kind of get bored of when they don't really have anything interesting. Also, it's kind of annoying to not know if like you're just missing a section of the level, or if there's a secret somewhere, because like, The secrets have just been kind of like, oh, you ran into a wall and there you go. Now you have found a secret and there's a chickie in there and you're like, all right, cool. So it doesn't really have like an explorative element. It's more like just kind of check walls until you find things, which isn't particularly my favorite way to find secrets, although some people are perfectly fine with that, and that's totally personal preference. I mean, I kind of get annoyed with it. I remember Castlevania always kind of pissed me off as a kid because it was like, oh, I have to go onto this wall and basically just randomly hit walls until I find wall chicken. It's like, yeah, just no point to it sort of thing going on. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm just not 100% a fan of that, and I think that's just because I was mentally scarred by Castlevania. Can I go up here? I bet there's a secret back here or something like that. Go ahead and slide down the wall. There's a very athletic chicken. I have never seen a chicken being able to like wall run or even hold a sword. Actually, how would it hold a sword? I guess it would be like clipped to his feathers, or maybe he was a deformation and he was actually born with a sword tied to his feathers. Oh man, that would be epic. I guess it would tie your feathers around, or maybe there's like a mad scientist behind it all, and that's the story. There's a mad scientist who just like decided to make a super chicken that is just murderous and kills everything that's trying to kill it as well for whatever reason. I've given up on trying to come up with a story for this game. I'm sure I could. Maybe it goes into Skyrim. Maybe it was a Skyrim mod originally, and everyone was like, yeah, well, Dragonborn got bored and sent off the chicken on its own adventure or something like that. I don't know. You can probably tell I'm getting a little bit bored of this. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I think I get it, but I do want to keep going because a lot of platformers, they do kind of evolve as the levels go along. That is kind of the idea of a platformer to begin with, but yeah, whatever. I'm not really feeling challenged either. The only times I've really died is from one, me being an idiot, which if I was like not trying to talk and commentate, it probably wouldn't do it. But at the same time, it's like I go off screen and then all of a sudden I'm dead sort of thing. So I don't know. It doesn't really have an animation either. You just kind of disappear. It reminds me actually of like those Game Boy Color platformers that they had a ton of. Like I remember all of those sort of games, just like there was tons of them and they didn't really have a lot of depth. They just kind of like had one character's like go and platform for about an hour and then the game was over. I remember I had a ton of those because basically the Game Boy Color didn't actually have a lot of good games in my opinion. There's a lot of games that were like kind of like a small title, and this is actually what it kind of feels like, actually, even like aesthetically. And so basically it's kind of like one of those sort of situations to where maybe they're actually trying to end up doing that sort of thing. I don't necessarily know. Also, skill dodge, so pro. I just realized up in the top left I have all the chickies. Also, we're on level 14. It says it up in the top right. It just says a number. It doesn't actually say what level we're on, but whatever. I'm cool with that. Killing snails. So I said I like the snails design, but the other enemies are just kind of there. Like the pea shoots are just pea shoots, and the rats just kind of have like these weird red teeth, and that's about it. It's kind of like, not 100% a fan of that either. It doesn't really feel like unique. Like I like the snails because they're all armored and they feel like they'd be evil and things, and so you're a chicken fighting the evil, but like the other ones are just kind of there. It's like these pea shooters. They don't even turn around to shoot you. It's barely as if they're even like attacking you to begin with. They're just kind of there as an obstacle. It's a bit annoying. So yeah, I don't know. A little bit disappointed. So I guess we're sharing my disappointment in this one. I mean, once again, I don't think anybody's going to be picking this up and expecting a... Oh my god, that is so annoying to go off screen and then get killed instantly and having nothing that you can do to kind of get away from it. I guess I could have ended up double jumping because you can fall and then double jump, but yeah. Also, if you hold down, you go through platforms, apparently, or at least I did there. Was that a glitch, or was that just me? No, you can. Okay. You can actually go through platforms just by holding down, but you can't go through rocks. So there's a mechanic. I'm sure they could end up using that eventually. Oh my god, but these hitboxes, you are a really, really fat chicken in this game, so you end up kind of hitting those hitboxes pretty dang easily. Boom. There we go. That was so pro. That was perfect. I know, people like speedrunning very basic games could end up probably enjoying this quite a bit. There is literally no look down, so I don't know what's going to be down here. So, like, just falling off screen and stuff like that is just going to be terrifying. Also, there's no reward for killing enemies, so I don't know why I'm actually, like, trying to kill all the enemies. There's really no point. Also, that was a secret. I thought that was the way we were supposed to go, but apparently not. They stopped giving me arrows, and so I got lost. Woo! Perfect. Perfect! Alright, so I need to go this way. Oh. Die because the sword swing didn't last long enough. That's fine. Or just run straight into it. That's cool. I'm not a fan of that. I am really not a fan of that. Out of everything that I do not like in platformers, it is instant random death. That is probably one of the things. I remember there was actually one game that I played that I actually enjoyed that mechanic because it was the entire point of the game. And so it's like kind of one of those troll games of like, you jump on a platform and the platform explodes. It was all about kind of experimenting and seeing what exactly the sort of way was. It's kind of like a Groundhog's thing, except, you know, you screw up over and over again, and then eventually you end up finding the right pathway. I thought that was really, really cool. But the entire concept of the game was kind of based on that. This one is just like, no, it's a platformer, except you die a lot because basically you jump into things and instantly kills you. And there's really no sort of timing that you could end up having to sort of, I just screwed that one up, but there's no sort of telling of, oh my god, and I basically didn't even fall on the platform. Yeah, the hitboxes need work. So I will say the hitboxes are a little bit strange as well. It's kind of like a giant square around the chicken rather than like inside the chicken, what a lot of platformers will end up doing. See, I like this. Do more of this. Maybe it's just because we're on the first stage. I'll try and go a little bit longer to see if we can actually get something more advanced, because I don't want to like bash the game for being too simple and basic if it actually ends up getting more complex. But so far, I'm not really seeing much here. And I don't even know how long the game is, so it can end up finishing in like an hour and then be perfectly fine. That would be whatever. Also, I found a shield. I like having shields. That means those instant deaths will just be a small annoyance. Boom. Dead. Sweet. Oh, I ran into the things. That was my fault. That was me. Kill that thing. Then go down here. I could see the snail spikes. Yeah, so I guess... Oh my god, that was annoying. Anyways, so I guess one of the sort of complaints I could have, or not really the complaints, but one of the complaints I could have about my gameplay, rather, is the fact that when I'm falling, I'm supposed to be grabbing onto walls and kind of checking. But at the same time, I don't necessarily find that fun. And so I don't really feel like that's a justification. So, I don't know. Yeah, so I'm kind of disappointed in this one so far. Like I said, I'm going to try and go a little bit farther. I'm just skipping the chickens now. It's not evolving at all. It doesn't really feel like it's evolving. Yes, the levels are interesting. I kind of like the level design. It is kind of doing this whole, you have a very small stage, but it's a very, very quick to finish it. And so it's like kind of one of those things you can end up playing in small sessions and stuff like that. If this isn't on mobile, it'd actually be a fairly decent idea if you could get the controls working, that is, to actually put on mobile, maybe. I think that would be an interesting idea because I think these, oh my god, those... I hate that. I really, really do. And maybe it's just my reaction time kind of screwing up because I'm so close to my screen when I record, and so basically I'm not able to see things at the corner of the screen as quickly. Maybe that's what it is, but yeah, I'm finding that annoying. I bet if I backed up, it probably wouldn't be nearly as bad, but it is still annoying because, like, I couldn't even see him on screen at that moment when he ended up starting shooting that, so... Yeah, that is a thing that needs to be worked on. Oh, hey, we're using this mechanic again where we have to jump and dash, and then we died again. At least the levels are quick. I will give them that. It's like the levels are quick, so basically dying isn't going to be like a huge thing to where it's like, oh no, now I have to do this whole hour level again or something like that. It's one of those situations where it's like, yeah, I just try this again. And so, yeah, it's not that bad, but at the same time, it doesn't feel enjoyable to retry. I know there's a lot of platformers and a lot of people hate platformers for that simple fact of where, you know, they'll try it and then they'll end up dying or something like that. And then, yeah, basically they'll be like, yeah, it's not really that fun because you just die over and over again and have to spend all this time to get back to where you were. But there's games like Super Meat Boy is one of my favorite examples, or N+, or N++, rather. N++ is even better than N+. It's actually fantastic. I need to finish my video on that one. But yeah, it's just like, they make failing fun because you fail and you learn stuff from it. And you're like, oh, okay, so I can end up doing this, and you learn mechanics, and it's like, it's a challenge. It's like, you know, you're trying to go through it. For this, it's like... Doing this new platforming section isn't a challenge for me. I mean, maybe it will be for some people, but for me, it's like, this isn't a challenge, and so it's just like an annoyance more than anything. Also, that was just me failing. What happens if I go this way? Can I just go this way instead? Okay, so I can go that way instead. I think it might be an entirely different pathway. I'm trying to get to the next set of levels, and I'm just like, I might give up in a second. Because I quite literally, I'm getting bored. That's a little bit disappointing. I was hoping to really, really enjoy this one, but whatever. It is kind of that's a silly game, and so I guess my expectations weren't really that high, but I was excited to try it, so I am genuinely disappointed. But that's all right. I kind of expected I'd be disappointed anyways, and maybe it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, but still at the same time, whatever. Oh no, this is actually making me appreciate the other game that I'm trying to play. Oh my god, how many more do we have? Hold on. Oh, we are on the next set. Alright, so this has been Cluckles Adventure. Sorry, my throat just like decided to kill me there for a moment. That was kind of annoying. So yeah, I think my throat's just telling me like, hey, you know what? We need to be done. So I guess it's going to be me for this one. This has been Cluckles Adventure. I'm a little bit disappointed. I like the idea of it, and I like the aesthetic. I just feel like it doesn't really feel like it's having any depth, and maybe it does get depth later on, but like so far the advancement has been like, here's more platforms and more enemies that'll kill you from off screen, or just instantly kill you from an animation you couldn't really dodge. So yeah, I guess I wasn't really expecting much to begin with, and so it's not, I guess it's not necessarily a disappointment, but at the same time, I would have really liked to enjoy a game where you're playing as a little chicken. It is kind of a funny game as well. You are playing as a chicken, you're just going around saving the chicks, but regardless. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this one. And if you want to see any other types of games and you want me to check them out, make sure to leave them in the comments, and I will try and get to them when I can. Also, you can end up checking out my other types of videos and stuff like that. I am currently checking out a lot of other platforms. The last platform I ended up checking out was called Slime Sand, and while I wasn't 100% a fan of that, and currently I'm actually working on my review for that one, it's one of those games that it has a lot of sort of mechanics that feel a little bit arbitrary, but it's actually quite fantastic. My first impressions of it was actually fairly decent as well. I did make some complaints, especially about the aesthetic, because not everyone's going to be a fan of it, but yeah, that was another platformer I was kind of checking out. So if you're looking for a little bit more in-depth platformer that actually does a lot of interesting things with its mechanics later on, then you can end up checking out that one. There's a chicken there, and I don't know how to get to it. Does that mean that there's a secret somewhere, or is there just a... I don't know. Do we have to jump from the bottom? Also, you stick to walls pretty easily. I don't know how to get that chickie. So I guess there might be a mechanic. Maybe we get... Hold on. Is there going to be another mechanic somewhere around here where we get, like, armor busting or something like that to where we're able to, like, burst through rocks? I'm done.